Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be replacing the servo in the 14209 14210. The reason for this is last time we was out was having issues with it moving, and I was like, before it becomes a problem and no longer works, I'm going to replace it. So this is what this video is. So the servo I've got is this one, as you can see in there. So this was recommended that it's better than the one that's in there, so we're going to get that out. So let's get the coffee and let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, let's get the top off. As you can see, I've got little rubbers on there. Go on my website, I'll leave the link in the description on what ones I used. I've used several different clips and they've turned out to be the best so far, so definitely recommend those. Right, so let's get the servo off. So what we need to do first is figure out how to get it off. So with the look of it, let's just see there's one screw there, it's part of the servo, as you can see, and then there's 4 screws holding it in place. So we're going to get them off and then we'll get the other one out of the box. I've got to take off the top to the receiver, so we'll do that first. Keep my big fingers out of the way. Try and keep the screws together. As you can see, it's a bit dusty because we went on a BMX track and was amazing. Absolutely brilliant, loved it. So go and watch that video. It should be out by the time you see this. As you can see, the fin's missing. So I put a metal bracket on for the fin and it just ripped the fin off. But the problem is, it's broke the screws inside. So it's actually snapped the screws off. So I don't know how we're gonna get that off at the moment, so that's the reason why that's still on there. I'm going to pry that off, I think. So I'm going to use my truster. This is brilliant, by the way. Links in the description again. It's just one of the best tools I've come across so far for things like this. Let's get the screws out, because then we know they're out. And I'm not fighting against the screws then. If I remember right, this was like rubber sealed when I took it off last time. And that was to replace the fan, because the fan just disappeared. Yeah, it's come off quite easily now. So we'll put that together, and that's the receiver. So we need to get to the servo wire. So let's take that out. So this pliers. Try not to damage the cables because it's just going to cause you problems. So we've got that off there. I haven't got a small one, I've only got big ones, pardon the expression. Right, look for the servo wire. It looks like it's the top one. So this, yeah, it is, it's the top one. So it says channel 11 on there. So it's that one there, it's the top, well, it's the bottom channel, channel 11. Let's take a picture so I can put it. Okay, so we'll get that off. All the wires are the same side, so white facing up as I'm looking at it. Right, so that's the cable off. Let's get the servo off. So we'll take the screw off there. I don't know if you can see that, but that's from the drive arm. We're just going to put that to the side. Let that drop off. Is that nice and tight? Yeah. And then there's 4 screws either side. Let's get the difficult ones off first. And they're in there tight. Well, which you'd expect. You'd expect it to be in there tight. I've just lost a screw, but that's okay. I know where it is. And then there's 2 screws at the back. And quite small screws they are, to be fair. And that's it, that's literally as quick as that. I wouldn't say as easy as that, but as quick as that. Let's come off. Let's get that other screw. Okay, so that went in that way. I'm going to place that on there for now. I'm going to get the other one out of there. So that's the one. There's quite a lot of screws and so forth in here. So let's have a look. So that's all the gubbins. So we've got all the gubbins for different cars, so forth. What I want to do is take that off and put it on the new one. So it's a direct replacement and they're basically the same size. So that's the plan. So let's move that out of the way. So I'm going to take that screw off there. And then place that on there. So it's just one for one, lie for lie. Just noticed that's not. Alright, we're on. A little bit fiddly, make sure it's nice and tight, but we're on. We're good. So make sure it's in the teeth so you can feel that there's no movement in it. Let's give it another tighten up. So we're good. Right, let's get that off. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. So the servo's got different colours on it to what that one is. It's looking like yellow. As we look at them together, it looks like the yellow is the white one. So that's what we're going to do. The yellow one is going to be the white. So let's put that back into place. Let's get that in there. Very fiddly. Very, very fiddly. Yeah, what can I say? If you've got big fingers, you're not going to enjoy this. Right, first screw in. Second screw in. Put that cable under there how it was before. Tighten up the steering, and I've just noticed that it's quite loose, so as in it moves about quite a lot, so just put one of these underneath the steering arm, what you're screwing onto, so you don't strain it or strain the motor. Right, that's done. Right, we're back in a second because I need to go and get the controller. I've just realised I've not got the controller, and then we're going to plug it in, make sure the steering works before we fasten it all in. So see you in a moment. Right, I'm back. So, if you can remember, I said the yellow was the white, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to plug in the yellow and the white. It's a bit hard to push in, but that's in. Now I'm going to try it. So I've got a battery. It's not going anywhere, but we need to, because there's nothing worse, like I've said before, is yay, we're working. And it seems to be stronger. I can feel that it's, I say feel, I can see that it's stronger. So happy days for that. All right, we'll get that turned off. Now we're going to put all this back. And as you can see, it's going to be a bit fiddly. That's a short wire, that is. Yeah, that is a short wire. Anyway, let's get that in there. Like so. We're in. Make sure all the cables are seated inside there because it creates the seal. So on there. Make sure nothing's binding or anything like that. Binding, what am I on about? Nothing's catching. Put the screws on the top. Right, we're good. Right, so make sure that's all good. Make sure it's not catching, which it's not. It's seated nicely. I like that this isn't a waterproof box because it keeps it nice and safe from water. I'm making some right faces on here. Oh dear. Right, they're nearly in. Okay, right, so let's give it another go before we tighten up. Let's turn the controller on, that might be a good idea. We're good. Right, happy Craig. Okay, so learning, make sure you read the manual. In summary, make sure the manual's read. Then we're going to use cable tie and tighten up some of these cables so they're out of the way. I've got the world's biggest cable tie. I've got no small ones, but this will have to do. Dory, my crazy cat. Don't know what she's doing, but she's being mad. Right, let's get that off. Woo! Dusty. Right, anyway, that's it. I'm going to tidy this up. We're back working again, so no more servo issues. So in summary, make sure you read the manual. Make sure it's on straight. So this is the other servo. Switch it on to see which side it is, and then that's sat upside down, and then make sure the servo arm, we'll use this one as an example. Make sure it's facing outwards, so when you put it in, it's going straight. So when you turn it on, it's going straight, not left or right. That's one of the big learning things. Make sure you read the manual. Hope you've liked this. Subscribe, pick me up in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.